Good morning. Hello. Today is a very special day. If you can't tell, it's early morning. The sun is kind of starting to rise. And there's snow on the ground. Except it's not really snow. We had an ice storm kind of overnight. And I don't think anything's coming down right now. I just stepped outside earlier, so I'm maybe a little bit flushed looking. But I still have to work today. I'm working from home, but I will have more downtime now that I'm at home today. And it's possible today's Thursday, I may also be home tomorrow and then over the weekend, and we may have even more winter weather next week. So I'm thinking, why not do a reading vlog? Or at least attempt to do one. So we're starting here. It's 7:01 a.m. right now on Thursday, and I'll have to start work in about 30 minutes or so. But I'll go ahead and say some of my goals. I'm trying to read mostly Black authors right now for February. That's like my sort of loose goal for February. But I posted on Instagram before. I was actually whining because I didn't think we were going to get any winter weather this year because it's really been so long. We've had a snow drought for like over 1,000 days. It's pretty wild. And, you know, I got to eat my words in the best way because now we have winter weather. But, I mean, I was really hoping for snow. I don't really enjoy ice storms. They're pretty dangerous. Around here especially, because we don't really prepare for winter weather because we don't get it very often. But anyway, I posted about reading Shari Lapina's Unwanted Guest, or An Unwanted Guest, because I think it takes place during a blizzard and it's the perfect kind of winter weather read. And I actually never got around to starting it, even though I said I was going to start it a couple weeks ago because I was giving up on the weather. But hopefully in my downtime today I can start this. And just read whenever I can. So that's my goal for this week. We'll see how this goes. The cats are kind of freaking out. Let me show you. I opened the doors earlier to see what the cats would do, thinking they would just like kind of sniff the air and like slowly go out. But this one, Markle, just ran out, and I got really nervous because he started like going halfway through the yard and he was just slinking around. And he has a collar and he is microchipped, but he wasn't on a leash or anything, and I was really scared that he was just gonna like go through a hole in the fence or something and he'd be gone. But he ended up running right back inside because the door was still open, and I guess he figured that icy ground is not very fun to walk on, is it? Is it? But now I feel like he may be acting like he wants to go back because he's been standing by the door ever since. And Hal is here too. He's watching. He's more of a watcher. What do you think about that, Hal? Is Markle kind of silly boy for going outside? Yeah, it's cold out there. Silly boy. Hey guys, it is the same day as 5:10 p.m. so I thought I'd film a little check-in for the reading vlog while there's still some daylight out. But I had a pretty good work day. You know, it's kind of awkward doing things on Zoom still, but not too bad. Can't complain too much. I was able to read some of An Unwanted Guest. Not too far in. I just finished chapter 4, so I'm only about, let's see, 38 pages in. But we have been introduced to all of the characters, so the cast has sort of been established. All the players in the mystery are, you know, set, but there is one character, one mystery character that we haven't actually seen. So it's set in a hotel and all the guests have arrived and are checking in, and they're kind of getting to know each other over cocktail hour. If you hear ruckus, let me show you what's going on. Well, of course, when I go to film, they stop. But the cats, Markle has learned how to get a Q-tip out of the cabinets in my bathroom, and They love playing with like garbage more than anything else. They have a basket full of toys, but they love Q-tips and like wrappers and, you know, random things like that. But yeah, if you hear ruckus around me, they're fighting over that. But all the characters are getting to know each other over cocktail hour, but the bartender guy has told us there is a woman who we haven't met yet who's a writer who's trying to like kind of isolate herself while she's writing. So there's one mystery character that we don't know much about, but I love a good mystery. I'm enjoying it so far, but it is kind of weird to me because as she's introducing the characters, like she keeps telling us how attractive they are and sort of like ranking, like there's this one lady who's super attractive and everyone who notices her notice that she's so strikingly attractive, and this person is kind of attractive but not as attractive, and there's this one person that would be really attractive if they weren't so depressed or like mentally ill. Like it's just kind of like, what's going on? Like I understand introducing a character, people like a physical description so they can imagine the character, but I'm kind of like, I feel like there's this hierarchy of attractiveness being set up, and I'm like, is this really relevant to the story? Maybe it will be. Like I said, I'm only 30 something pages in, so we will find out. But, you know, the day is coming to an end, so I'm going to be working on dinner and things like that. Thinking about having a bath tonight, and since it's snowy, I think I have the perfect bath bomb to use. So other than that, and reading, maybe doing a little bit of YouTube stuff, I don't know, just have a cozy night in. That's my plans, so wish me luck. Hey reading vlog, it's me. It's the next day, different day, same hoodie. Yes, I am wearing the same hoodie because this is probably the warmest, coziest hoodie that I own, but don't worry, I did change the shirt underneath, and I did bathe last night, which I ended up having that bath that I talked about. I had a little book bath, so I didn't actually read anymore in An Unwanted Guest once night fell, but while I was in the tub soaking, I did read some of Lot, which is a short story collection by Brian Washington. These are short stories that are set in Houston, which from what I understand is where the author is from. And each story is actually titled by what I'm gathering are different neighborhoods within the city. And sometimes the perspective jumps around, but we keep coming back to this one family. So some stories are with random characters, and I can tell that because the protagonists are given names, but then we keep coming back to this one family, and so far the protagonist isn't named and he's telling the story in first person, so I still don't really know what this character's name is. I have a feeling it's somewhat autobiographical because this family is a multicultural family, multiracial. The dad is Latino and the mom is Black. And so a lot of the themes in the stories are dealing with those identities and the characters like trying to fit in, figure out where they belong, dealing with poverty, trying to find work, and just the different issues that people in urban areas face, and the family dynamics of living in poverty. I don't know, I'm just really enjoying it so far. I enjoy his writing style. There was one particularly interesting story with a chupacabra. That one got kind of weird, and I love weird. And so at this moment, that's probably my favorite part so far. But I'm only like maybe 50% of the way through. I'm 59% of the way through. So maybe I can finish that tonight or tomorrow here pretty soon. But I'm going to try to get a lot more reading done. It's about midday. It's about 1 o'clock actually. I did work from home again today because the weather is still bad. A lot of the icy roads refroze overnight, so it was still pretty dangerous to travel this morning. So worked from home again, managed to finish up a bit early today, but I did get a video edited. Well, not all the way edited, but I made it through the first round of editing for the next video I'm going to upload. And I may finish it up this afternoon at the final edits. I may read. I'm hoping to read a lot in the next few days, like I said, because I want to finish Lot, what I just talked about. But I also have Black Buck on hold from the library, which is something I've been really anticipating reading. And I know next week the new Sarah J. Maas is coming out, and I've been very excited for that as well. And I know some of you are also going to be reading it, so I'd like to be reading it at the same time as everybody. This is one hype train and one, one bandwagon that I am okay with jumping on. But it's gonna be a weird week because we're looking to get more winter weather next week and possibly a really big snowstorm, so this may just turn into one giant reading vlog. I don't really know where I'm going with this, but we will see. Either way, I will check in with y'all later and update you on what's been happening. Hey y'all, just checking in on the reading vlog. It is now Saturday, so a whole day has passed. I didn't get to film an update or anything late last night. I was just too tired, but not that much has happened. I have read a little bit more than when we last checked in. Before I start talking my reading update, I just want to show that we've got some sunshine today. You can see the sun's kind of starting to go down, which is why I wanted to film while there's still some light left. But we got a bit of sun today, which was exciting, and most of the ice and snow that stuck around has melted. My patio is pretty much thawed out. A bunch of icicles have fallen off like throughout the day. I've heard banging noises, and it's just things falling off the roof. But I did get to read some, like I said, in An Unwanted Guest. The plot has definitely thickened, and she is pretty thick, So there was a body found, and of course, the characters are starting to, talk amongst each other, trying to discover who the culprit was, because at first it appears to be an accident, but then there's talk that it was actually deliberate. And where I just stopped reading last night, a second body had been found. So yeah, things are getting more interesting. At this moment, there does not appear to be a connection between the person who was found first and the person who was found next, but that all may be revealed later. I have a small suspicion of how I think they might be connected, but I'm kind of hoping to be wrong because I feel like my suspicion is really obvious, and I'm hoping that the reveal would actually be more, what am I trying to say? Would be more surprising than what I'm thinking that it is. But yeah, it's good. There's a lot of couples involved here. So all of these hotel guests, a lot of them are already coupled up. There was one couple that is like potentially going to be a couple after meeting at the hotel. And there's one couple that, another drama that has happened since then is that one couple has discovered that their partner is cheating. So a bunch of drama there. So it will be interesting to see how that resolves and whether that plays into the murders or not. But yeah, I'm enjoying it a lot so far. And I did read more of Lot, the short stories collection, which I am enjoying. But they are like fairly dark stories and, kind of sad, a little bit depressing sometimes, but they're still written really well. And I don't know, I feel like they are probably very indicative of the urban experience, especially in a city like Houston. And, that's an experience that I don't have. So I'm glad to have, my horizons broadened a little bit just in reading that. And I am 67% of the way through on lot right now. So I'd like to get that done tonight, maybe. Don't know if I'll be able to finish An Unwanted Guest that soon. Maybe I can finish this tomorrow. I'm hoping to get through a few books so I can film on Monday. I'd like to film the first half of my February wrap-up. So we'll see how that goes. And weather update, it's still looking pretty bad. I just stayed and cleaned all day. That's why I haven't done any reading. I've been cleaning all day, and I did sleep in a little bit, just a little bit. It's looking that snow may start tomorrow night. They keep going back and forth whether it will actually start Sunday night or Monday, early Monday. So there's supposed to be 2 major storm systems coming through, one like Sunday into Monday, and then maybe one later, like Wednesday into Thursday. So, and they're predicting a lot of accumulation, which is rare. We hardly get very much accumulation here. So people are freaking out. I didn't go out into town, like I said. I stayed home. And I'm pretty good on food, but my parents did go to the store and I asked them to pick me up a few things. And they said it was wild. Like, they couldn't find a parking spot. All the shopping carts were taken. It's like Mad Max out there or something. Yeah, that's how our Kansans handle winter weather, because we don't really get any and we don't prepare for these things because they usually don't happen. And then when they do, we are all like, ah! We'll see. Hopefully it won't get too dangerous, and my plans will just be to stay home and enjoy the weather and hopefully do a lot of reading. So we'll see how that goes. Hey everybody, it is Sunday morning. I've already been out and about today. I had a bit of a fail. I went to the grocery store, like I think I mentioned I would try to yesterday. And it was only just for 2 things. I was only just going for soda and muffins, because there's some really good muffins that this one specific store in town makes, and they also carry this soda that I like. And I was going to try to brave the streets and everything. The streets are all fine. The weather's all fine right now. But the parking lot was so full, and I thought I'd lucked out on a parking spot because people were getting ready to pull out just as I was passing, and I was like, okay, I'm going to circle back around and try to get the spot. But no, some truck comes in and pulls in before me and gets the spot. And I just took that as a sign. I was like, I really don't want to fight with these people over some muffins and soda. Like, I'm okay with food at home. I can drink water. I'm a big girl. I need to stop being such a brat and drink more water anyway. So yeah. But while I was out, when I was driving to and from the store, I finished the audiobook that I was listening to, which I don't think I've mentioned in the reading vlog yet, but I listened to Let It Bang by R.J. Young. I think Young is his last name. And it was really good. It's the subtitle of the book is A Young Black Man's Odyssey into Guns, or something like that. And you know, that's what it is. That's what it's about. It's about RJ, who is a black man, and his sort of exploring gun culture in America and learning more about guns and kind of getting into that culture. And I am someone who has zero experience with guns and very limited knowledge of them, which is mostly intentional. I'll be honest, that is not something that I really value, but I do recognize the value in knowing more about those things. So I did learn a lot from the book. I appreciated the perspective that he has, and it was really good. And it was just really good. I'll try to talk more about it in the wrap-up for the first half of February. But I also finished Lot last night, Lot Stories by Brian Washington. They were really good. I like his writing style. It's very, like, what is the word? Unconventional in the way he doesn't use quotation marks and things like that. So he sort of challenges the rules in that way. And it had a very like poignant ending and was like meaningful, but I also felt like things kind of went over my head. Like I was supposed to have more profound reaction than I did. I don't know what the reason for that would be, but it just felt like, I don't know, it didn't hit me as hard as it maybe was supposed to. But I'm so glad I read it, and I do recommend it. And I'm looking, I know he has, I think he had a book that came out in 2020. I forget the name of it, but it's the one with like a plastic bag on a stick or something. I don't know, but I'm interested in that one now. So I did end up finishing 2 books recently, and hopefully I'll be reading on an unwanted guest today. The snow was supposed to start this afternoon. Maybe I can get that on video. I'm kind of looking forward to, you know, reading a story set in a blizzard as I'm being snowed in. That's kind of fun. It's also Valentine's Day, so may do some sort of fun related Valentine's thing. I might have a Skype call with friends either tonight or tomorrow. Don't really know. That's kind of up in the air because we were supposed to do a Galentine's yesterday and it didn't work out. But other than that, it's just gonna be a lazy Sunday. I may watch church here in a minute. I'm doing laundry, but other than that, I could plan for the work week ahead. I'm probably not going to though, because I'm also off on Mondays, so I may just do that tomorrow. But yeah, I'm gonna try to read as much as I can and enjoy the weather. So I took a nap for a few hours, and I woke up at like 1:20 or so, and I looked out the window and I was like, oh, it's not snowing yet. And then I started to make my lunch, and then as my lunch was cooking, I looked out and I realized there were tiny little flakes on my patio, and it was just barely spitting out, and I've eaten already, and now it's starting to come down more. This is what it's looking like. And you can see it's accumulating on the patio already, so it begins. It's really coming down now, getting some big flakes, and it's starting to stick on the ground. It's 3 o'clock and the ground is mostly covered. Still some grass poking through, but it's getting there. It's accumulating. All right, it is the end of the day. I probably already put in the footage of it snowing. It's still, I mean, it has let up a lot, but there are still a lot of like little, it's like spitting out flakes right now. So it's still coming down just barely, but the sun's going down, and it's like that cool blue light where it's like the snow is almost glowing. That's really cool. I just love snow. I'm just really glad we're getting to see some this year. But I spent most of the afternoon reading in An Unwanted Guest that I have not finished yet, but I wanted to go ahead and do a check-in before the sun went down. I have about 40 pages left, maybe. Let's see. Yeah, about 40 pages left. So more bodies have been found, and there's still a debate on to whether it's one of the hotel guests that is killing people off, or if there is someone else there that no one else knew about that's been picking them off one by one. And of course this was all taking place in a blizzard. I can't remember if I've mentioned that in the vlog already or not, but I know I've mentioned this book in videos before and how I wanted to read it, but you can tell by the cover it takes place in a snowstorm and a blizzard, and they're all trapped in this hotel. Very remote. Like, they can't call the police. There's no way for anybody to help them. The power's gone out, so they just have to kind of wait it out until help arrives. And where I stopped, the power has come back on and the police have been alerted, and part of the police is there, but their police is understaffed. So there's like a sergeant who's like, you know, in charge of, or she's like acting as a detective, even though she's not really a detective, like that's not her specialty or whatever, but she's trying to get the job done until the state can send people. So it's looking like we might find resolution soon, but I'm also wondering if maybe the killer is still active and some of the police are going to get killed off. I don't know, man. But it has been a lot of fun, and I'm hoping they do get resolution. I've never read this author before, but I'm hoping it's not like an open-ended, like, who knows? You get to decide what happened, reader. The truth is what you believe, but hopefully we will get some kind of satisfying resolution. But yeah, I'm going to make dinner. Hopefully finish the rest of this tonight. I don't know if I'll do another check-in tonight, but I will definitely be filming tomorrow. So I just finished an unwanted guest, and it was really good. I was guessing the entire time, kind of had an inkling of who it was. I was partially right, but I was still like unsure of myself the whole time. I was like second guessing myself and wondering the whole time. And I love that in a thriller or a mystery. And I loved all the characters. I was invested in all of them, and I cared about what was going to happen to them, even though some of them were terrible people. Shout out to Henry. Henry sucks. Henry, I hate you. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. So do recommend if you are a thriller mystery lover. Now I think I may take a bath. Good morning, reading vlog. It is Monday morning. It's still snowing. I think I did film a weather update when I woke up this morning, but I woke up and the ground was completely covered. As you can see, it's still coming down. It's been snowing ever since I got up. I haven't measured. They're saying we could get up to 10 inches, I think. But then we've got another system coming in a couple days, so we may have quite a lot by the time this is all over. Either way, it's a lot of snow. We don't usually get this much. If it snows around here, it's usually like a dusting, or we may get an inch if we're lucky. So this is pretty wild. I wanted to film a reading update because I did start a couple of books yesterday. Since yesterday was Valentine's Day, I had a Valentine bath bomb that I wanted to use, and I wanted a fitting kind of romantic read. And I'd been listening to a podcast discussing Black authors and Black romance, and one of the authors that they mentioned was Beverly Jenkins. So my library had a few of her books, and the one that I chose was Forbidden, which this is the first in the Old West series. Okay, it doesn't say on the cover, but I think that's what it's called. And it's featuring a Black heroine and a Black hero, which it may be kind of hard to see the cover here, but he doesn't especially look Black, especially in the cover, but he's actually, he's a child of a white slave owner and one of his slaves, or one of the slave owner's slaves. The slave owner, you know, the slave was his mom, obviously. So he is white passing, having a white father, and this is set after the war, and he's determined to continue passing as white for the rest of his life because it makes his life a lot easier. Our heroine is trying to live an independent life, and she's trying to go west to seek her fortune and improve her life. And that's really all that I know about it. So far, I've only read 24 pages. So I'm 10% of the way through the story. I'm on chapter 3. And so far, they've only just met. The hero and the heroine have only just met. And so can't really speak a whole lot in terms of the romance, but I am excited. And I know one thing that Jenkins is kind of known for is her historical romance, but it's also putting Black characters in optimistic settings. And they talked about on the podcast how after the Civil War was actually a very like hopeful time for Black America, because things were changing and they felt like, you know, progress was coming and like they were really coming into their own. And like really the goal of her books is to put Black characters in happy, optimistic settings, because especially I think nowadays when we do see Black people in historical settings, they are suffering, they're slaves, or they're in the civil rights movement, they're suffering under segregation, and you don't see a whole lot of that positivity. So I'm excited to see that with this book. I also started yesterday a book that I've had on loan for a few days. That is Black Buck by Matteo Ascaripour. I don't know a whole lot about this. I think it's a story about the main character who's like a wannabe entrepreneur, like trying to find his own way in the business world and be successful. Thinking it may also be kind of satirical and a critique on like hustle culture, but also like what it's like to be Black and try to be successful, like a commentary on that. I really don't know, but I've seen it, highly recommended. I know I've seen ads for it watching the news, and Matteo actually is on the ad. And let me just appreciate for a second, he's very good looking. So not that that has any weight on, you know, the quality of his story or anything, but it did help motivate me to figure out more about him and more about this book. So I'm excited to explore it further and see where the story is going. I'm not very far in. I think I just finished the first section. No, not even that. I'm only like 8 pages in, so I don't know much about it, but I'm excited to see where it goes. So that's the reading update. I'm probably not going to read a whole lot today. I've got to try to be more productive because I didn't do much yesterday besides read, and you know, time's a wasting. So here I go. Hey reading vlog, it is Tuesday afternoon, about 1 o'clock Tuesday afternoon. Just wanted to film another little update. So I'm still at home. I don't know how well you can see the snow outside, but it's still there, but the sun has come out and there is some melting. I think it's mostly come off of the fence. It's probably melting off the roofs and things like that. But it's supposed to start again tonight, so this is a brief break in between the winter storms. But update on reading, I haven't done that much. I've been working all morning, but I'm more or less done for the day, so I may be able to read more this afternoon. But I am going to take a shower first before anything, because my hair really needs a wash. That's why it's tied back. But I've been trying to conserve energy, you know, and do my part, because our power grid is not really used to the strain on people's heating systems and just the electricity. So I'm trying to do my part, but I think it's warm enough that I can risk washing my hair and it'll be okay. But haven't read any more of Black Buck. Did read a little bit more in Forbidden. Oh, I thought I had the cover pulled up. Well, I'm on chapter 4, so I'm not too far in. There's the cover again. But not that much has happened. The characters have gotten to speak to each other more, and you can tell that at least on his part, there may not be necessarily attraction, but he admires her a lot and he can't stop thinking about her. And I think her perspective, she's just a little bit too like self-conscious and not really in an insecure way, but she's just so absorbed with her own worries and concerns because she's very independent and she's not really necessarily thinking of him in that way just yet. But it has also been revealed that he, the hero, has a fiance. So, there's gonna be some competition here. But yeah, still not that far in. I'm only 34 pages in. So, but in other news, another development has happened. So last night I posted a story on Instagram as soon as I saw my Kindle update with, and now it's gonna take forever to load, A Court of Silver Flames, the new Sarah J. Maas, which I am excited about. I did read the first, well, it's not the first chapter, I guess, but I read the introduction before going to bed last night. And I read a little bit earlier today, kind of in between Zoom meetings, but I'm not very far. I'm only on page 10, so not that much has happened, but Nesta and Cassian are already interacting, talking to each other. There's already some, that tension between them, and I'm already just getting really excited at seeing them together. And I think I've mentioned it in videos before. I really enjoy Maas's books, but I kind of lost respect for her, to be honest, when she published the novella, A Court of Frost and Starlight, or whatever it is, which it's not bad for a novella, and I guess I should have been more informed going into the book about what it really was, because I was hoping with that book we would get more satisfying interactions with Nesta and Cassian and other characters, and just get more questions answered, and it really was a book where nothing really happened. And I don't know, it just kind of rubs me the wrong way when authors do that. It feels like a money grab, like they know they can make a ton of money publishing a book where nothing really happens and leaves their fans like hanging and wanting more. But I mean, I don't know, that's her prerogative as a writer, whatever. And I'm obviously not so upset that I'm not reading the next book. So here I am. I bought the next book already, and I'm going to be reading it, and hopefully we will find some satisfaction between these two characters that we love so much. So looking forward to that. But now I'm in a bit of a pickle because I don't normally like to have so many books going on at once. So I'm in the middle of Black Book. Like I said, I started that one. And Forbidden, the romance novel, and now A Court of whatever I just said, Flames, Frost and Flames, whatever. They're all blurring together in my head. I have the 2 library books, so there's a time crunch on those, and I think Black Book's loan is due before Forbidden, but I'm also kind of feeling like Forbidden is shorter, so I may be able to get through it quicker. But I also really want to prioritize the Maas book because I know there's going to be a lot of hype about it, a lot of buzz about it, and I'd rather, especially concerning spoilers, I don't want to accidentally see something online and, have it ruined for me. So, I don't know. I think given that I'm home this week and working from home and I have my afternoons kind of mostly off, maybe I can do it if I just really push through and read a lot. So, wish me luck. Good morning, everyone. It is Friday morning. It's pretty early. It's about 7 o'clock. And I don't think I filmed at all yesterday. But honestly, not much is happening. It's just the same old. Been working in the mornings, trying to read in the afternoon. Still pretty slow going on A Court of Silver Flames. I am at 47% right now, which is, just under halfway through, but it is very good. I am really, really enjoying it. I never know how much to say about in like a reading vlog about what you're reading. I don't know what is considered spoilery or not. But the romance is heating up a lot. Nesta, our main character, is sort of embarking on a quest, and that, you know, part of the plot is really starting to build up. There's a really cool scene in the swamp area, I'll say that. Maybe if you've read it, you'll know what I'm talking about. That scene was really cool. But yeah, I don't want to say too much about it to get too in the weeds and reveal spoilers, but it's really good so far. I have 0 complaints so far. I love Nesta. I love Cassian. And, well, okay. It has also been revealed that Feyre might be in mortal peril. Like, her life is kind of threatened. And I guess I really am okay with it, but I don't know. I just kind of really wanted this to be Nesta's book and focusing on Nesta. And it is. But I don't know. I guess I kind of get tired of main characters after a while, and I feel like Feyre has had her time. It's like Feyre instead of Marcia. But it's still really good. I'm enjoying it. But I gotta get ready for some Zoom meetings this morning, so I may read up until it's time for me to log on. But yeah, I got another virtual work morning ahead, so wish me luck. Okay, just a correction on what I just said. My Kindle hadn't updated because I had read on my iPad late last night, and so I'm actually at 54% of the way through. I stopped at chapter 38, which is on page 395. So just for accuracy, I'm gonna make that little correction. Weather update. Snow is still here. It's Saturday afternoon, but it is melting. You can see it dripping off the roof. And along the fence where the sun is shining, you can see some grass emerging. So we are getting out of this. Hi everyone. It is Saturday afternoon, and I finally finished A Court of Silver Flames. I know I probably look a little bit rough. My hair's kind of crazy. It's actually looking better than it was. We haven't been put on a boil order or anything, but we have been told by the city to limit our water use. So I've been trying to be really precious and conservative with my water, even though I really need to wash my clothes, I have a full load. My dishwasher is all loaded and ready to go, but I've been putting that off in hopes to help save water. Maybe they'll kind of lift that restriction tomorrow because I'm sort of getting desperate. I did just shower, but I didn't wash my hair or anything. That's why it's up and looking crazy, but the snow is melting and we're kind of getting out of this, but I don't think we're completely out of the woods yet. But I am out of the woods of this book, so let's talk about it for a little bit. I loved it. I loved it so much. I love Nesta as a character. I'm really glad that she got her own book. I love her and Cassian, their chemistry, the sort of enemies to lovers, sort of, in that they kind of have a hate-love relationship, even though we all know deep down we all know they love each other. And it's just so good. I think I relate to Nesta a lot in her struggles with mental illness. And I did read the ending where Sarah J. Maas, in the acknowledgement, she says that a lot of Nesta's journey is kind of representative of her own mental health struggles, and I can appreciate that a lot in my own mental health journey. So in that sense, it is somewhat triggering if you've struggled with things like that. I would throw that out there. If you struggle with suicidal thoughts at all, it may be a little bit triggering. Because I definitely felt kind of, it's not that bad. It wasn't a full-out trigger, but there's some dark parts in the story for sure, and kind of took my mind to a dark place for a little bit. But it is a story of hope ultimately, and courage, and fighting one's inner demons. and it's just so good. Talking a little bit spoilers here, so spoiler alert. I'll try to put something up on the screen to skip ahead if you want to. When we found out about Feyre, I was convinced that we were gonna see them do the first like cesarean birth, like she would somehow be the first successful cesarean in this world, and I was kind of right, so I'm kind of proud of myself for that. Even though they did technically do a C-section on her, more or less, but it was like magically enabled, I guess. And I also called, well, sort of called how Nesta would call out, or what's the word? How she would, I don't know, she would call out for Cassian to fulfill his end of the bargain. That's what I'm trying to say. I had a feeling that it would be in a really dramatic moment and she would like tell him, I knew she would tell him to leave her. I had that, you know, I felt like that was coming already. I was expecting it to be a lot more like dramatic than it was. Like I kind of pictured them in some kind of battle, or like she was in mortal peril and she tells him to leave her, which is not exactly what it ended up being. It did end up putting her in a perilous situation, and the same with him, but it was for a much more petty reason than I initially imagined it would be. I still think it was done really well, and I don't have that many complaints about it, to be honest. It was really good, and I'm glad it was such a long book. It obviously took me a long time to get through it. It was 758 or so pages, I think. So it's quite a massive tome, but I'm glad that we got one big book instead of like writing another trilogy, because I think they very easily could have broken it up into 3 smaller books. That would not have been as satisfying, at least for me. I'm looking forward to more books. I'll be honest, I don't follow Sarah J. Maas really at all. Besides like when her books come out, I read them. I don't follow her on Twitter. I don't even know who her publisher is. Like I don't really keep up with that side of things. And I guess I'm a bad fangirl in that way. But I'm kind of hoping we get a book from Elaine's perspective. Like surely that would be the natural order of events. I'm not sure if that's ever been rumored or announced, but that's something that I am looking forward to. Is it bad for me to kind of want her and Lucian to be together? I don't know. We did get some scenes of them together in this book, but I've always kind of felt for Lucian and I want him to be happy. I do want her to be happy, of course, too, but she was kind of mean to him in this one. So, yeah, I don't know. But I also feel like it's unrealistic for it to be like, everyone just pairs off and ends up happily ever after. Like, I don't know. I feel like at the end of it, someone should be alone and it be okay that they're alone. I don't know. But anyway, I really did enjoy it and I recommend it to all fans of fantasy and romance, especially fantasy romance. It is very adult, so no children. Yeah, it's a lot of fun, and I guess I'll wait and give my final star rating in my wrap-up. But as you can tell, I really, really liked it. It was really, really good. But the day is wasting away. I spent most of the day asleep, to be honest. Had a very lazy day. But I'm going to try to edit some videos and be a little bit more productive. So, you know what? I think I'm going to end the reading vlog here. It's been a wild week. For it being a snowed in week, I really didn't read a whole lot, or I didn't read as much as I thought I was going to. But, you know, to have finished this book with it being so long, that's pretty big accomplishment. I didn't read all the books that I have mentioned this week. You know, I was trying to read those other books last weekend. The Black Romance and Black Buck was the other one. I started those and didn't get any further in those. So, but hopefully I can finish those in the coming week and maybe have them done before my February wrap-up. Life goes on. But I hope you enjoyed this look into my everyday snowed-in life. But it has been fun. Let me know if you want to see more reading vlogs and more kind of casual videos like this. And thanks for watching. Bye!